Have you ever felt emotionally exhausted, like you're trying to keep it all together, but life just keeps throwing more at you? Maybe you've found yourself caught in a storm of responsibilities, setbacks, and stress, wondering, why can't I handle this better? Quote, "You're not alone. The truth is, it's incredibly easy to feel overwhelmed in today's fast-paced world. But here's a powerful shift in perspective. What if emotional strength isn't about pushing harder or being tougher, but about learning to master your inner world?" In this episode, we're going to explore 10 transformative habits that can help you become emotionally stronger, all inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. You see, the Stoics understood something essential. Real strength doesn't come from avoiding hardship or chasing external validation. It comes from within. It's about facing life's chaos with calm, responding with self-control, and finding clarity even when things fall apart. Just imagine starting each day with focus, staying composed in moments of stress, and drawing strength from silence and reflection. That's the Stoic way, and today, I'll guide you through how to apply this ancient philosophy to your modern life. Step by step, by integrating these simple but powerful habits into your daily routine, you'll begin to reshape your emotional foundation. You'll become more self-aware, more confident, and more resilient in the face of adversity. So, are you ready to begin this journey? Let's dive into the first habit that can truly change the way you live and feel. Habit 1. Start your day by identifying control. What's yours and what's not? Every morning begins the same. A flood of thoughts rushing in. What should I do first? What challenges will I face today? How will people respond? But here's a question we rarely stop to ask. What do I actually have control over? This is where your emotional clarity begins. So many of our daily worries stem from things that are completely outside our control. Things that zap our energy and cloud our focus. The first Stoic habit is refreshingly simple, yet incredibly powerful. Begin your day by identifying what you can control and what you can't. The Stoics were masters at this. They divided life into 2 categories: the things we can influence and the things we cannot. And they believed that true peace comes from putting all our energy into the first and releasing the second. Think about it. You can't control how other people act or whether your day unfolds perfectly, but you can control how you respond. You can control your attitude, your mindset, your decisions, your tone, and your effort. Take a moment each morning, just a few quiet seconds, to reflect. Ask yourself, what do I have control over today? Make a quick mental list. Your thoughts, your behavior, your reactions. That simple shift empowers you instantly. It reclaims your emotional energy from the things you can't change and focuses it where it matters most. Let's say you have a demanding workday ahead. Rather than worrying about how others will receive your ideas or how packed your calendar is, channel your focus into your preparation. Focus on your presence, your calm, and how you'll choose to respond under pressure. And when something unexpected happens, because it will, remind yourself, this is outside my control, but I decide how I meet it. This mindset is what builds lasting emotional strength. It frees you from feeling like life is happening to you and reminds you that you are not powerless. You are the one steering your response. The more you practice this habit, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, no matter what happens around you, you'll instinctively know where to focus your energy and where to let go. And this is just the beginning. Let's now look at the second habit, a small but life-changing practice that teaches you to pause before reacting and respond with intention instead of impulse. Habit 2. Practice the inner pause. Choose your response, not your reaction. There's a moment, a tiny, powerful space between the feeling and the reaction, and if you can learn to find that space, to hold it just long enough, you'll change the way you experience your emotions forever. Picture this. A wave of emotion rises. Maybe it's anger, bubbling up from a tense conversation, or frustration from something not going your way, or maybe it's anxiety, creeping in before an important moment. Now, instead of letting that emotion hijack your behavior, you pause. This could be as simple as silently counting to 5, taking a deep, grounding breath, or quietly stepping away for just a few seconds. In that brief pause, something powerful happens. Your mind catches up, it processes, it resets. In that pause, it isn't about bottling up how you feel or pretending everything's fine. Not at all. It's about honoring your emotions without letting them steer the wheel. Let's say a colleague makes a passive-aggressive comment that stings. Your instinct might be to snap back, but instead, you take that breath and ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? What response would reflect calmness and maturity? Quote, that moment of stillness gives you a choice, a chance to break the cycle of automatic reactions. And over time, this one habit can make a massive difference, not just in how others perceive you, but in how you feel about yourself. The Stoics believed deeply in this principle. Epictetus, one of their great teachers, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That's the essence of emotional power, not control over life's events, but control over our response to them. And here's the beautiful part. The inner pause works in every situation, whether it's a heated argument, a stressful meeting, or the anxiety before a big decision. This simple habit helps you reclaim control and act with intention, not impulse. No dramatic lifestyle change required, just consistent practice, a little pause, here and there, reflect, choose, respond. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. You'll find yourself speaking with more thoughtfulness, listening more deeply, and moving through conflict with surprising grace. Like a muscle, emotional resilience grows with repetition. So, the next time your emotions begin to rise, stop and breathe. Let that tiny moment of stillness become the bridge between your feelings and your best self. Habit 4. Reflect on your day. Let your life speak back to you. In a world that constantly urges us to stay busy, jumping from one task to the next, measuring success by productivity, it's easy to forget one of the most transformative habits we can cultivate: reflection. Amid the noise and motion, the act of simply pausing to look back can become a quiet form of wisdom. Reflection is not about perfection, it's about presence. It's the gentle process of turning inward at the end of the day, revisiting your experiences with honesty, curiosity, and care. Some of the greatest emotional breakthroughs come not from doing more, but from looking more closely at what we've already done. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, kept a journal, not to scold himself but to learn from his own mind. Each evening he would trace his thoughts, examine his reactions, and ask whether he had lived in alignment with his values. Through this practice, he refined not just his judgment, but his character. Why is reflection so powerful? Because it gives us space. It allows us to step outside the current of the day and see ourselves from a calmer, more centered place. When we reflect, we begin to notice patterns, moments where we reacted with frustration or where we showed grace. We ask not just what happened, but why we responded the way we did. And that awareness is the first step toward true growth. Think back. When was the last time you faced something difficult? Maybe a conversation didn't go well. Maybe pressure got the better of you. Did you respond automatically or with intention? Did your words come from clarity or from a place of reactivity? Reflection helps us catch these moments, not to judge ourselves, but to learn. A few minutes of honest review can show you what worked, what didn't, and what you might do differently next time. And over time, this habit becomes a kind of emotional compass. Let's say you had an argument. Rather than brushing it aside, ask yourself, did I truly listen? Did I remain calm? Or did I let my emotions take over? The answers will guide you, not just to better conversations, but to a more centered way of being. And the beauty is, this habit doesn't require hours or deep rituals. Just 5 quiet minutes before bed is enough. Sit with yourself, ask, what did I handle with strength today? Where could I have shown more patience or understanding? What feelings came up, and what were they trying to tell me? These questions don't just help you evolve, they gently steer you away from emotional spirals before they even begin. And importantly, reflection isn't just about noticing what went wrong, it's also about honoring what went right. Maybe you stayed compelled that would have shaken you in the past, as progress. So give yourself that space each evening. Let your day speak to you. Let it show you how far you've come and where you're still growing. This simple ritual will sharpen your awareness and deepen your resilience, one evening at a time. And as you build this habit, something else begins to bloom quietly alongside it: gratitude. Because the more clearly we see ourselves and our lives, the more we recognize what's already good. Reflection gently opens the door to appreciation, and from there we begin to shift, not just our mood, but our entire mindset, from scarcity to abundance. And that in turn becomes the foundation for the next habit, one that infuses even the smallest with meaning. Habit 5, embrace daily gratitude. Recognize the good that's already yours. In today's fast-paced world, we're often caught in a relentless chase, striving for more success, more recognition, more of everything. Promotions, goals, validation. We convince ourselves that happiness lies just beyond the next achievement. But this mindset quietly feeds a loop of dissatisfaction, keeping contentment always one step out of reach. The 5th habit for building emotional strength offers something refreshingly grounding: the simple yet powerful practice of daily gratitude. Gratitude isn't about ignoring hardship or painting everything in a false light of positivity. It's about training the mind to see, really see, what's already present and good: the warm smile of a loved one, the comfort of shelter, a moment of peace. These things, often overlooked, are the foundation of a richer emotional life. The Stoic philosophers knew this well. Gratitude wasn't just a feel-good sentiment, it was a discipline. Seneca once reminded us that character isn't built in a burst of effort, but little by little, day by day. Gratitude was part of that daily shaping, a tool for anchoring the soul, especially in turbulent times. So how do we practice this in our everyday lives? Start simple. Each morning, before the noise of the world takes over, pause. Take a few quiet breaths and ask yourself, what are 3 things I'm thankful for today? They don't have to be monumental. A good night's sleep, the aroma of coffee, or a message from a friend, all are worthy of notice. Over time, this small ritual shifts your mindset. You begin to move from a space of lack to a space of appreciation, from restlessness to peace. But gratitude isn't just about your own inner calm, it's about connection too. When you take time to sincerely thank someone, to acknowledge their presence or effort, you nurture relationships. Gratitude builds bridges. It creates safety, warmth, and trust. And in that, emotional strength becomes something we share, not something we bear alone. And yes, life will still bring difficulties. That's inevitable. But gratitude becomes a steadying force. In the face of challenge, it whispers, "This is tough, but look how much you still have." That one shift in focus can transform how we meet adversity, with steadiness, clarity, and even hope. So tomorrow morning, give it a try. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Let those quiet recognitions set the tone for your day. It doesn't take much, just a moment of presence. But over time, it creates a more resilient, joyful way of being. And as your heart becomes more rooted in gratitude, you'll find you're better prepared for the next lesson on this journey, a deeper, more difficult one. The quiet strength that comes from learning how to let go. Habit 6. Learn the art of letting go. Accept loss as part of life. Loss touches everyone, whether it's a relationship that ended, a job that slipped away, a dream that didn't materialize, or even just the comfort of predictability. We all face moments where something dear is taken from us. It's in these moments that life can feel heavy, even unbearable. But the 6th habit is this: learn the art of letting go. The Stoics taught that everything in life is temporary. People, possessions, circumstances, Even the things we cherish most are subject to change. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." At first, that may sound cold or distant, but it's actually liberating. Letting go doesn't mean we stop caring. It doesn't mean we erase the past, it means we stop clinging to what we can't change. Because when we hold on, through anger, regret, or grief, we weigh ourselves down emotionally. We lose the ability to move forward. Think about it. Is there something in your life you've been holding on to? An old resentment, a missed opportunity, or maybe someone's approval? What would it feel like to finally let it go? This habit isn't easy. Letting go means stepping into uncertainty, but it also creates space. Space for healing, for peace, and for something new. In practical terms, letting go means accepting that you can't control everything. It means releasing your grip on the past and choosing to focus on the present and the path ahead. It also means shedding the need for external validation. So often, we hold on to things, not because they serve us, but because they once made us feel worthy. But your worth isn't defined by what you've achieved, who approves of you, or what you've lost. It's intrinsic. It's yours. Letting go is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's choosing peace over resistance, freedom over attachment. And once we clear that emotional clutter, we're better equipped to focus on what truly matters. Habit 7. Set clear priorities. Know what truly matters. Have you ever had a day where you did so much, yet felt like nothing truly moved you forward? In the whirlwind of daily responsibilities, distractions, and expectations, it's easy to fall into the trap of being busy without being purposeful. That's where the next habit comes in. Setting clear priorities. To build lasting emotional strength, you must learn to ask yourself, what is truly worth my time? What will I never regret giving my energy to? These aren't just philosophical questions. They are the filter that cuts through the noise and helps you reclaim control over your life. Because the truth is, you can't do everything, and you shouldn't try to. When you prioritize what truly aligns with your values and long-term goals, you gain something incredibly powerful: clarity. Take a moment and reflect. Where has most of your time gone recently? How much of it has been spent on things that truly matter to you? Far too often, we get caught up in the urgent, the emails, the meetings, the endless to-do lists. But urgency doesn't always equal importance. And when we allow these surface-level demands to dominate our days, we end up drained, disconnected, and overwhelmed. On the flip side, when you consciously choose to focus on your true priorities, something shifts. You become more intentional with your time. You learn to say no without guilt, and yes to the things that genuinely move you closer to the life you want to create. This isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. As Marcus Aurelius once reflected, true wisdom lies in focusing only on what is essential. The Stoics understood that when you direct your energy toward what you can control and what aligns with your deepest values, you create mental space, emotional balance, and meaningful progress. So today, take a moment to define your top 3 priorities. Ask yourself, what brings me fulfillment and growth? What contributes to my peace and purpose? What will I look back on one day and feel proud of? When your actions match your priorities, you begin to live in alignment, and from that alignment flows strength, resilience, and clarity. But even with clear priorities, life doesn't slow down. Distractions still come, opinions still swirl. That's why our next habit is essential. It teaches you how to remain grounded in the chaos. We live in an age of noise. Opinions fly at us from every direction. Notifications buzz. Headlines scream urgency. Expectations mount. It's no wonder we often feel overwhelmed, like we're being pulled in 10 different directions at once. But here's the quiet truth. You are not required to respond to everything that demands your attention. One of the most stabilizing habits you can build, something the Stoics mastered long ago, is the art of mental detachment. This isn't about becoming cold or distant. It's about learning how to stay rooted in yourself, even when the world sways. Mental detachment is the ability to remain present without becoming entangled. It's the practice of witnessing what's happening around you, fully aware, fully awake, without allowing every wave to knock you over. It's choosing to engage without being consumed. Picture this. Someone misjudges you, criticizes you unfairly. Maybe a project fails or a plan falls through. Do these events shake your identity? Do they unravel your peace? They can, but only if you let them. Detachment gives you space to breathe, space to think, space to remember that you are not your circumstances. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This isn't just a quote, it's a mindset. When you detach, you reclaim your power to choose. You stop being a puppet of outside forces and become the author of your own responses. So how do we begin to practice this powerful habit? Start with a simple mental exercise. Draw 2 columns in your mind, one for the things you can control, the other for what you can't. Your thoughts, your actions, your interpretations, they belong to you. But the mood of your boss, the economy, a stranger's opinion, let them go. They were never yours to hold. When someone offers harsh words, don't internalize them. Observe, reflect, decide if there's something to learn. If there is, great, take it. If not, let it pass like a cloud in the sky. Their judgment doesn't determine your worth. Mental detachment also helps you set boundaries, emotionally, mentally, energetically. You begin to choose where your attention flows. You stop investing your energy in battles that don't belong to you. You begin to protect your peace like a sacred space. And this doesn't mean you disconnect from life. Quite the opposite. It means you show up with more clarity, more presence, because you're not weighed down by everything. You're fully there, but no longer drowning. So the next time pressure builds or criticism comes, pause and ask, is this something I can change? Is this mine to carry? If the answer is no, release it. Watch how much lighter you feel. With practice, this detachment becomes a kind of armor. Not one that shuts you off, but one that shelters your calm. You'll start to feel a quiet strength, a steadiness that isn't shaken by every gust of wind. And in that space, you'll begin to choose peace over panic, clarity over chaos, and from that place of inner stillness, you'll be ready for the next habit, the one that weaves all others into something deeper, something lasting, the search for meaning in each day you live. Habit 9. Stay light by letting go. Be present, not possessed. We live in a world that rarely pauses. Notifications ping, messages pour in, opinions fly across our screens, expectations weigh heavy. In the middle of all this noise, it's easy to feel fragmented, like pieces of ourselves are constantly being tugged in every direction. But there's a quiet truth beneath the chaos. You don't have to attend every fire the world tries to set in your mind. The 9th habit in cultivating emotional strength is this. Learn the art of mental detachment. It's not detachment in the sense of indifference, nor does it mean withdrawing from life. Rather, it's the subtle wisdom of staying emotionally present without letting every passing storm sweep you away. This is not about apathy. It's about clarity, a conscious choice to protect your peace in a world that constantly tries to invade it. Think back to a moment when someone misunderstood you, or offered a cutting remark that clung to your mind like a shadow. Did it shape your mood for hours? Did it echo in your thoughts long after it was spoken? When we tie our emotional well-being to every external comment, event, or outcome, we surrender our stability. We become like leaves in the wind, blown around by forces we can't control. But detachment invites us back to center. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. We may not control the world, but we always control our interpretation of it and how we choose to respond. So, how do you begin? It starts with awareness. The next time you feel yourself tightening up, whether from a harsh message, a stressful request, or someone else's emotional charge, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, don't carry it. Release it gently. Let it float past you like a leaf on water. This isn't avoidance, it's discernment. You're choosing not to invite chaos into the sacred space of your inner world. With practice, this mental boundary becomes your quiet armor. You begin to move through life more lightly. You stop internalizing everything. You begin responding rather than reacting. And in that space of pause, you rediscover your own authority, the ability to remain rooted while everything else shifts. Even more beautifully, detachment nourishes your relationships. You listen more openly. You hear feedback without being wounded by it. You allow others to be themselves, without feeling responsible for their emotions or outcomes. It brings grace into connection and peace into disagreement. So the next time something stirs you, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is this mine to hold? It worth the weight that places on my peace? If the answer is no, let it go. In that simple act, you step back into yourself. You reclaim your stillness. You anchor into the present moment, not as a victim of circumstance, but as its quiet observer. And slowly, a new kind of strength emerges. One built not on control, but on calm. From here, we arrive at the final habit, the one that gathers all others like threads into a larger tapestry. It's the habit that turns daily living into meaningful living, and it begins, as always, from within. Habit 10. Set a daily purpose. What's your why for today? Every single day, life hands us a gift, time. But how often do we treat it that way? Most of us wake up and immediately dive into the rush, checking notifications, rushing through our to-do list, reacting to what's urgent instead of what's important. We fall into autopilot. The day unfolds around us, rather than being shaped by us. But here's a powerful shift. Emotional strength grows when we start each day with intention. The 10th habit is simple, yet transformative. Set a daily purpose. This means identifying one clear intention, goal, or theme for your day. Something that gives direction to your energy and meaning to your actions. This isn't about creating a long checklist or trying to do it all. It's about choosing one thing, just one, that matters. One thing that will make you feel fulfilled, focused, or proud by the time your head hits the pillow. Ask yourself, what do I want from today? What's my why? Maybe it's as simple as, today, I will take care of my body. Or I will have a deep conversation with someone I love. Or I will practice patience in a moment of stress. Whatever your purpose is, let it be intentional and meaningful to you. When you begin the day knowing what you want to stand for, everything else starts to align around that. The Stoics emphasized this kind of intentional living. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily of who he wanted to be, what values he wanted to uphold, and how he intended to face the world. He wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And your thoughts become sharper and more powerful when guided by clear purpose. When you have that clarity, your energy becomes focused, your actions gain meaning. Even small tasks feel connected to something bigger. And at the end of the day, when you reflect and realize that you lived in alignment with your purpose, even in just one small way, you feel accomplished, centered, and strong." Setting a daily purpose doesn't just shape your day, it shapes you. It reinforces the habit of conscious living, and it becomes the fuel for long-term emotional resilience. So tomorrow morning, before the world pulls you in 100 directions, take one quiet moment. Ask yourself, what will make this day meaningful to me? That question alone can change everything. Final thoughts. You are the author of your emotional strength. As we close this journey through the 10 habits of emotional strength, let's pause and take it all in. Building emotional resilience isn't about avoiding hardship. It's not about becoming cold, detached, or tough. It's about learning how to respond, not react. It's about making small, powerful choices that slowly rewire the way we move through life. Let's quickly recap the 10 habits. 1. Focus on what you can control. 2. Pause before reacting. 3. Be honest with yourself. 4. Reflect daily. 5. Practice gratitude. 6. Let go of what no longer serves you. 7. Set clear priorities. 8. Detach from the noise. 9. Stay grounded in the present. 10. Live with daily purpose. When practiced consistently, these habits form a powerful emotional foundation. They don't just help you handle challenges, they help you transform through them. The Stoics taught us that the source of strength is within, and by mastering these habits, you reclaim control over your emotional world. You begin to show up to life with clarity, calm, and confidence, even when things get hard. So here's my challenge for you. Choose just one habit, practice it this week, watch what shifts, then add another. Because emotional strength isn't built overnight, it's built moment by moment, choice by choice, day by day. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode brought value to your life, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Together, we'll continue to learn, grow, and become emotionally stronger, one intentional step at a time.